Hello everyone. So for today we're going to have systems of linear inequalities. Specifically, I'm going to discuss today how to answer learning task number 2. Okay. So this is your learning task number 2. Graph the following inequalities and identify at least 3 points that belong to the solution set of the inequalities. So let's answer number 1 and number 2. Okay, so for number 1 we have this x is greater than -2 and y is less than -1. So remember, we already have this kind of problem during the first week topic. Okay, so we can graph this directly. So let's draw first our Cartesian plane, the y-axis, the x-axis. Okay, so if you have this kind of inequality, y is greater than -2, so if we're going to get this is the first step is to make it an equation. So this will be x equals to -2, and if you're going to graph this, remember this is a vertical line that passed through -2. Okay, so let's find -2 of x. So this is -1 and this is -2. So now the question is, what kind of line should we use? Is it a broken line or a solid line? So since the given is greater than, so we're going to use broken line. Okay, a vertical line that passed through -2 of x. Now we're going to test a point to find out which part is the solution. So let's have this one, the origin. Okay, so we're going to have this, so we're going to let x be equal to 0. So 0 equals to 0 is greater than -2. Okay, so we substitute x by 0 because the x coordinate of this point is 0. So 0 is greater than -2, so that means this is true. Okay, so since this is true, we can now shade the part where we can find 0 of x. Okay, so let's shade this part. Now we're going to graph this one. Y is less than -1, so this will become y equals to -1. So this is a horizontal line that passed through the -1 of y. Okay, let's use other color. So again, this is a horizontal line that passed through -1 of y, and -1 of y is here, -1. So the question now is it a broken line or a solid line? So since the given is less than, so we're going to use broken line. Okay, we only use solid line if the given is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Since the given is just less than, so we're going to use broken line that pass through -1 of y. Okay, then let's test a point. Let's use 0, 0 again. So if we're going to use that point, then 0 it will be equal to 0. Y will be equal to 0. So your inequality will be 0 is less than -1. So 0 is less than -1. This is false, right? So since this is false, it means that our solution for y is less than -1 is the lower part, because we got false on this one, which is on the upper part. So the solution therefore must be the lower part. Okay, so let's shade this. Now the direction for learning task number 2 is to not just to graph the inequalities, but we have to identify 3 points that belong to the solution set. So all you need to do is to just locate 3 points, at least 3 points on the double shaded area. So when I said double shaded, it was shaded for the first inequality, which is the red part, and also shaded on the second inequality, which is the blue part. Okay, so let's try. Since this is -1, this must be -2, right? Okay, so let's use yellow. So we can have this point here. So this is the coordinate for this point is -1, -2, right? So you have 1 point already, -1 and -2. It's on the double shaded part. So again, this is +1, +2, +3. So let's have -2 and this one. +3 of x and -2 of y. Okay, so +3 and -2. Actually, you can choose much lower part on the y-axis. Let's say this one, it's -3. So you can choose this point here. This is 2 of x and -3 of y. Okay, 2 of x and -3 of y. So there you have it. You already have 3 points that are on the shaded area of the graph. That means that those are part of the solution of this inequality here. Okay, so that's for number 1. So same thing that you will do here. This is 2y plus x is less than 5, but in this case we have to get the x and y intercept. So let's do this. First thing to do is to make this an equation. Then let's find the x-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, you have to substitute y by 0. Okay, so this will be 2 times 0 cancelled. So therefore x equals 5. So the x-intercept is at 5, 0. 5 of x, 0 of y. To find the y-intercept, you have to substitute x by 0. Okay, so this will be cancelled since it's 0. So 2y equals to 5. Then divide both by 2. So therefore y is 5 divided by 2. Let's have this as decimal because it will be easier to graph if you have decimal. So 0, x is 0, y is 2.5. Okay, once you have the x and y intercept of the first linear inequality, you can now graph this. Okay, so let's graph the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept is at 5, positive 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the y-intercept is at 2.5, positive also. 2, 3. Okay, let's use red. This one, 2.5 is here. Okay, then the given is just less than, so we're going to use broken line. So this will be straight line. Okay, so this is the line for 2y plus x is less than 5. So we're going to test a point. Let's have this 0, 0 because it's a lot easier, right? So we just substitute 0 to x and y. So this will be 0 plus 0. So 0 is less than 5. 0 is less than 5. This is true. So therefore, the part where the origin is, that is our solution. So we're going to graph this since we got true when we change x to 0 and y to 0. Okay. Next is to graph the second. Okay, so next we're going to find the x and y intercept of this inequality. So let's make it an equation, it will become 3x minus y equals 8. Then to find the x-intercept, we have to change y to 0. So it will be cancelled. So it will become 3x equals to 8. Then divide both by 3. Cancelled. So therefore, x is 8 divided by 3 is approximately 2.7. Okay, so therefore our x-intercept is at 2.7 of x and 0 of y. Now to find the y-intercept, let's change x to 0 minus y is greater than 8 equal to 8. Okay, so this will be cancelled. So negative y equals 8. Divide both by negative 1 to make this positive. So y equals to negative 8. So therefore, our y-intercept is at 0 of x and negative 8 of y. Okay, so we can now graph this in the same Cartesian plane. So again, our x-intercept is at 2.7, positive 2.7. Positive 2.7 of x is here. Okay, 2.7 is here. Then, our y-intercept is at negative 8. So this will not be drawn to scale due to limited space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay. So negative 8 of y. Then our given is greater than, so we'll just use broken line. I advise you to use graphing paper when you're going to do this activity. Okay. Then we're going to test a point. Let's have this again, 0, 0. So this will be 3 times 0 minus 0 is greater than 8. 3 times 0, 0 minus 0. So 0 is greater than 8. So this is false. So therefore, our solution is this part here. Because we got false on 0, 0. Okay, so now let's get 3 points. So just remember that this is negative 8. So let's try this one and this one. So this is negative 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 5 of x and negative 8 of y. So that is one point already. Again, that is positive 5, negative 8. 5, negative 8. Okay. You can also have the next point here. This is 5, this is 6. 6 and let's say this one. So this is 6, negative 6. 6, negative 6. Just make sure that the point that you're choosing is on the double shaded area. So let's have this one and this one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 3 and negative 9. 3 and negative 9. So you already have 3 points. Okay. So that's for number 2. Okay. So that's how to answer learning test number 2. You can do now learning test number 3, number 4, and number 5. Again, first step, if you have this kind of problem, find the x and y intercept, then graph, then Take note of the given inequality. It's greater than or equal to, so you use solid line for this one. You use broken line for this one. Solid line, broken line, broken line. Okay, then test a point. So after testing a point, you will know which part will be the solution. Then shade that part. Then do the same procedure in the second given. Then find at least 3 points that belong to the double shaded area or to the solution set of the inequalities. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. Good luck and God bless.